Hello, I'm Fast Lawyer. Today we're going to do a review for Star Shaman VR. Star Shaman VR is a roguelite action shooter. It is recommended to have either a standing room or room scale setup, as you will be dodging left and right, as well as crouching down to avoid projectiles. Star Shaman released on the Steam Store October 22nd, 2020 by developer Ikimasho. It's available for the HTC Vive, Valve Index, and the Oculus Rift. I can confirm it works perfectly fine on both Windows Mixed Reality and the Oculus Quest 2 using Oculus Link cable. Star Shaman normally retails for $20. I got it through Viveport Infinity. So like I said, this game is a roguelite. That means that each playthrough will be different, and if you die, you will have to start at the beginning once again. However, you will have more and more points to spend in the shop to upgrade your skills to improve your chances of getting farther and farther. And the farther you get, you learn new enemy types and how to avoid danger or what their weaknesses are. And obviously you should get better and better as you go along. I will say that this game does start off very easy, very simple, and then that second stage hits and it's a lot more difficult. So there is a big spike in difficulty curve after the first boss fight. Now, roguelites are some of my favorite games in VR. I really love Death and Compound. They're two of my favorite games, and it's fun to start a new playthrough, and with all the weapon variety, all the enemy variety, and just the smooth and polished nature and the well thought out level design, they are just a lot of fun. My problem with Star Shaman is that it's not on that level. However, it's not horrible, and I could see some people having more fun in this game than I did. Personally, I did not have fun playing this game. However, I could see some people enjoying this game for what it is. For me, it just needs a major retooling for me to personally enjoy Star Shaman. One of the things holding me back from enjoying this game is just the overall jankiness. This game needs to be smoothed and polished when you're playing it so that you're not held back by some of the mechanics. In this case, you have like a shaman sphere in front of you, and you grab it to reload your wand. So you're shooting with your wand, and you grab your sphere in order to reload it and be able to shoot again. However, that action is just not polished enough. And you can see in my video where I grab the sphere and I try to reload my gun and it just doesn't work, so I have to try again. And in the heat of the battle, that's really costly. So it needs to be something reliable where each time that you intentionally grab the sphere and try to pull away from it, it allows you to follow the pattern so you can quickly reload your weapon. And the same thing with the shield. You have to grab the sphere, follow the pattern to get your shield, but more importantly to reload your wand, as that's very important in order to be able to kill enemies fast. Otherwise you're putting yourself in danger and you won't be able to progress very far in this game. It's just not polished enough as it is right now. I also think this game could do a better job with the tutorial. The tutorial here really doesn't do a good job of teaching you all the different mechanics available in this game. It starts off with a nice cinematic, and then the game starts and just kind of throws you in there, and you're left to your own devices, and you just have to kind of figure out stuff on your own through trial and error mostly. I also think the UI could use a lot of work here. The upgrade system is not very intuitive. I really think the shop should be like in a main menu or starting area versus the way it's implemented here, where you actually have to start the game and then look for the planet where the upgrades are available. To add to the UI and tutorial problem, you start off without even having your shields available. You actually have to go to the upgrade planet in order to get the shield, which costs 0 points. So it's not really an upgrade, but each time you do have to go to the upgrade planet in order just to get your shields, which should be available to you right at the very start. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. It just kind of wastes the player's time to have that implemented in game as it is right now. I also don't like all the pop-up text in this game. A lot of it just seems like filler. There is like this story that you're a shaman and you're trying to keep biodiversity in the universe, and you're going against these bad guys who are against that and trying to keep things in entropy. but it just seems to go off on that tangent just a little bit too much, just repeating the same stuff, but not actually moving the story forward. Now, there is a nice soundtrack to this game, and the sound work is okay for this type of gameplay. The visuals, though, while nice, do repeat a lot, especially in that first stage. Especially you have to repeat the first stage so many times after you die, and it just is not varied enough, and you get tired of seeing the same stuff over and over and over again. Supposedly you're traveling from one planet to the next, but there just isn't enough visual variety between them, and they all start looking the same after a while. And the enemy variety on top of that is just not visually interesting at all. Now, this game is running on the Unity engine. On my 1060 GTX, I was getting about a steady 60 frames per second, which was surprising. I was expecting to get 90 frames per second for this game type. It's mostly a 180 wave shooter type game. Obviously you are moving. You can play standing or within a small room scale, and you can dodge left or right or crouch down. But I just didn't really see that much on screen that would cause this game to run at less than 90 frames per second. So I didn't get very far in this game, so I want to be very careful with my review and how I word it. But I will say that I was just not very interested in trying to improve my skill to get further in this game. Unlike something like In Death or Compound, where I found it challenging, but it was a fun challenge and I wanted to keep trying. I wanted to see what was down the road, what was behind the next door, behind the next level. I just really didn't really care for that in this game. It just wasn't that interesting to me to want to go further and progress more within the game. And I'm having troubles coming up with a comparison to this game just because it has elements from other games, but there's not one quite exactly like it. Maybe it's a slower paced space pirate trainer with just the roguelike elements thrown in there. So I definitely do think this game would appeal to a certain type of gamer, especially people who like chasing like leaderboards and stuff like that, although this game is missing leaderboards, so I definitely think it would need that in order to appeal to that crowd. Anyways, like I said, this game just wasn't for me, and if I have to rate it, I would give it a 6 out of 10. I almost hesitate in giving it a score just because I didn't get very far in the game, but at the same time, I kind of don't want to play it unless it's retooled completely into something very different than what I played. Anyways, I'm Fast Lawyer. If you like my review, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, have a wonderful day. Goodbye.